It's Monday night, and here's what happened. Target is facing its eighth consecutive week of declining sales. What started as a boycott back in February when Target rolled back its DEI practices has had massive implications beyond the month of February it was supposed to impact. Folks are reporting the break they took from Target led to them changing their shopping habits almost entirely. No longer are they seeking the dopamine or adrenaline rush of some impulse buys at Target, and have either found other shops to support or straight up are just saving the money they would have otherwise spent. Target had hoped the boycott would be over by now, and on a recent shareholder call said they were hoping that Easter would sort of change the tides back in their favor. However, now churches are boycotting Target. And that started on Ash Wednesday, which goes all the way through Easter, with pastors and priests saying you should take a break from consumerism and dive more deeply into community activity. And I'm sorry to say it's not going to get better this week. On Wednesday, Trump is announcing what he calls his Liberation Day plan, which will be all of the new tariffs he plans to put out. And it's expected that some auto workers could see massive layoffs. But we can genuinely expect the cost of goods and products to go up because that's how tariffs work. The consumer ends up paying them. Another kind of weird Trump policy is the idea that they could allocate federal funding to areas where the rate of marriage and birth is higher. So a state like Mississippi or Alabama could get more federal funding for their infrastructure than a state like New York that pays more money in taxes for that infrastructure. The state of Mississippi also just voted to end income tax, which makes up about 30% of the state's budget. Now, that number will have to be made up some other way, so it could come from them raising the taxes on things like clothing or gasoline or cigarettes, or it could come from Mississippi trying to get more federal funding in their state to make up for their lack of state income tax. Either way, blue states will likely be paying more because Mississippi no longer has income tax. On the health side of the government, HHS has decided to cancel about 1,600 contracts. 300 of them had to do with vaccines, including affordability programs for children to be vaccinated. Now, I'm not an expert on health, and this is a full-time job reporting on health, so I want to make sure that you guys are in touch with people on Doc Talk so that you can stay up to date on what's happening in health. I'll tag some of my favorite doc creators below. Lastly, hey, what are the headlines on Fox News looking like these days? Are they talking about Signalgate or the tariffs or the fact that the stock market is crashing or that health is failing? No. Top story on Fox News is how Trump is going to chop down a magnolia tree on the White House grounds that was planted by Andrew Jackson, saying it is a beautiful, glorious, good tree, probably from his home, the Hermitage, but all good things must come to an end. I think that's all I've got for tonight. Congress and the Senate are in session, so barring anything kooky happening tonight, I will see you in the morning. If not, maybe I'll see you later tonight. Who knows?